So UFC 322 is taking place this weekend, and let me tell you guys, I'm like a kid. Like this feels like Christmas. You know when you were a little kid, Christmas was like peak shit, where you literally would just like stay up late at night waiting for fucking Christmas. That's what it feels like with this card. This card is absolutely stacked, and I've been thinking about a lot of the matchups on the card, most specifically the Bo Nickel fight, and I'm just thinking, bro, if Bo Nickel loses this fight, and if you watch my prediction video, you know that I think he probably will lose this fight. If Bo Nickel loses this fight, I think he's completely cooked. And that is what the point of this video is today. These are the top 15 fighters that I think if they lose their next fight, they're completely cooked. And if you get put into the S tier, you are like you just need to instantly retire after your next fight if you lose. If you're in the F tier, you're gonna be fucking fine, all right? So Tony's died, will be ranking the top 15 fighters that are cooked if they lose their next fight. Let's just pre-fire on some of these fucking comments, bro. Yes, I know bedtime MMA makes fucking tier lists, okay? And I've been doing the top 10s, and I've been trying to make like the top 10 thing my niche for the MMA community, where I do like the top 10 rankings list. But doing a top 10 literally every single fucking day for like the past 4 months, I'm a little burnt out on it. And so I kind of want to spread into some new media formats. Maybe bring back the Q&As. I was doing those at first, but I'm going to start testing a couple of different new video types. And these tend to do well with MMA fans. Obviously, Bedtime is the CEO of the fucking tier lists, but he didn't invent tier lists, okay? Other people are allowed to make tier lists, so I'm making this fucking tier list, okay? Let's start with the first entry on the list, which is Bo Nickel, who inspired this video. He's cooked. If Bo Nickel loses his next fight, he's completely fucking cooked. There's no other way to slice it. I just think, like, dude, everybody already hates Bo Nickel. He's been hyped up to be this top grappling prospect. He's fighting another grappler. If Bo Nickel can't take down this guy who's like 35 years old, he's only lost to other strikers. If Bo Nickel can't take him down, he's already cooked. But if he can't win the fight, then he's triple cooked. And so I think any way you slice it, if Bo Nickel loses his next fight, he needs to just instantly retire and start doing like WWE or like that pro wrestling organization, like actual wrestling, not fake wrestling. I think if Bo Nickel loses this fight, like what's even the point of having him around? Like this was a fun experiment for Bo Nickel, like, okay, NCAA wrestler coming to the, making his MMA debut. Let's see if he can do some shit. And we saw in his last fight, he struggled greatly. I think if he loses his next fight, I just don't see any point in keeping him around. Like, what's the hype? Like, RDR is very good. He went on to do great things in middleweight. So it's like, even though he got fraud checked by RDR, and it was a fraud check because RDR, he literally quit against Brendan Allen. So it's like losing to RDR, it's not bad, but it's not good either, So he did get fraud checked against RDR. And I'm just thinking, if he loses, what's the point? Like, seriously, like, tell me, what is the point of keeping Bo Nickel around if he loses the next fight? Because with the RDR loss, you can make the argument RDR is very good. Rodolfo Vieira, he's decent, bro. Like at best, he's decent. So like that's the point I'm trying to make. Like if Bo Nickel loses, just cut him from the UFC. He's fucking done, bro. All right. The next person we got is Robert Whitaker. I'm gonna put him in the C tier, bro. I think Robert Whitaker, he's had his moments to shine in the UFC. He's had his glory days, and I think we can all say that Robert Whitaker's best days are behind him. He's still having these scrappy fights with the best people in the division. Obviously not Chimaev and not Dricus, who are like number 1 and 2 in the division right now. But he had that close fight with RDR. He had a competitive fight with Paulo Costa in which he won. Arguably beat Adesanya in their rematch. He beat Ikram Aliskerov, who's probably going to be ranked very soon. So Robert Whitaker, yeah, he's not the fucking best. He's not at top 5 in the division anymore. And his better days are definitely behind him. But I think if he loses again, like it's like, we kind of realize what stage Robert Whittaker is at his career at this point. So it's not that big of a deal if Robert Whittaker loses, you know? So, yeah. I got him in the C tier, all right? The next person, we got Leon Edwards. I'm putting bruv, I was fucking asleep. They put me in the fucking octagon. I was fucking asleep, bruv. We got Leon Edwards. I think Leon Edwards is cooked if he loses. I might drop him into B tier because he's still young. He's 32. But here's the thing. The people that Leon Edwards have been losing to are grapplers. He's only been fighting, like his last 5-6 fights have all been grapplers. Nate Diaz, Usman twice, Colby, Bilal, and Sean Brady. All grapplers. He's fighting Prates. He's a striker, obviously. And if he loses to Prates, it's most likely going to be by knockout. I think I'm going to drop Leon to the B tier because I think he still is a former champion. He still is young. He has time to, like, even if he does lose to Prates, which I think he's going to beat Prates, but even if he does lose to Prates, I think that Leon Edwards should be able to, like, he's a really skilled fighter on the feet, and even losing to someone like Prates, that just proves how good Prates is, okay? Versus Leon, I think that, yeah, he loses. He's never going to get the belt back, but he's still going to be around the UFC for a while. Like, he's not in the title. Like, he's still in the title picture. Like, okay, if he can beat Prates is really good. He's only lost to Gary. Close fight with Gary. That proves Leon Edwards is still good. But if he loses to Prates, then he's just another person in the division. And if he loses to Prates, it's going to probably be by getting out physicality. I think Leon Edwards is cooked if he loses his next fight, but I don't think he's as cooked as someone like Bo Nickel. And I don't think he's as cooked as somebody like Peter Yan. Because Peter Yan, he's already lost to fucking Merab, bro. And he got 50-45 by Merab. I think Merab is here to stay at the top of the division for a really, really long time. Like, I don't think Umar did not show me anything in his last fight to prove that he can beat Merab. And so Peter Yan, he's on a 3-fight win streak. He beat Davison Figueiredo, he beat Marcus McGee, and he beat Song Yadong. 3-fight win streak. And that's crazy that he low-key had to go on a 3-fight win streak to get another title shot. Because you look at the rest of the division, O'Malley's getting fucking rematches instantaneously. Sandhagen's getting a fight off of a fucking win over, was it Rob Font? Was it Cheeto? Yeah, I know he beat both of those guys, but who did he get the title shot? Oh, Figgy. Like, 36-year-old Figgy is who, like, Jan already beat Figgy, and then Sandhagen beats Figgy. Why does Jan not get the title shot and Sandhagen does? So it's like, why did Jan have to go on, like, another 3-fight win streak to get to this position in the first place? It's because Merab destroyed him in the first fight, and if Merab destroys Peter Yan again, I just don't think Jan's ever going to touch the belt ever again. I think Yan is completely, like, if he loses to Merab again, say goodbye to the title. Say goodbye to your hopes and dreams. Wave him goodbye. Adios. You know, fucking, you know, those fucking Western movies where the girl's waving at the cowboy out the train. That's what the title is going to be doing to Peter Yan. Because I want Peter Yan to beat Merab. Let's be real. We all want Peter Yan to beat Merab. I like Merab. I'm not, look, let me just talk about Merab. I used to fucking hate Merab. Merab used to be someone who I despised utterly because he would just clinch his opponents to a decision in all of his fights. And I'd just be like, here's a fucking Merab fight. He's holding his opponent against the cage. But he's been having entertaining fights in his last couple of fights. And he's funny. I tried to cope. I used to be a coper about Merab being funny, but he is funny. It's true. He's a funny guy, Merab. And I think I just like Peter Yan's style more. I want to see fucking knockouts, man. I want to see fights on the feet. I want to see striking. And I feel like with Merab, we're never going to see that ever again. That's just my spiel about Merab. But the thing about Peter Yan is I think he's cooked if he loses to Merab in his next fight because I don't think he'll ever get the title back. All right, so yeah, I got Peter Yan in the A tier. For Ming Yang Zhang, I got him in the F tier. All right. I think even if Ming Yang Zhang, I don't know who they're gonna match him up against. Maybe someone like Minifield, maybe somebody like, I don't know, but I think Ming Yang Zhang will be perfectly fine, even if he does lose his next fight. Yes, he got knocked out by Johnny Walker, but he did really, really good against Johnny Walker in that first round. I just think it shows how green he is. You know what I mean? Like, I think that fight really just showed that he's very inexperienced and he doesn't know how to adapt to, like, when his opponent adapts to him, he needs to adapt back. And I think Ming Yang Zhang showed a hole in his ability in that last fight, right? But even if he does lose his next fight, I think he's still young. He's still going to be a great light heavyweight because he's fucking like 6'3". I was about to say 6'7". He's like 6'3". He's got a big Chinese fan base behind him. He still has a lot of time to work on the aspects of his game that are perceived as weaknesses. I think Ming Yang Zhang is going to be fine, regardless if he wins or loses his next fight. Someone who I don't think is going to be fine, though. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just go... Oh. I think Gilbert Burns is cooked. If you like, here's the thing. The reason I didn't put Gilbert Burns in the S tier is because he already is cooked. Like, Gilbert Burns is fucking cooked. He's lost like almost every single one of his last fights. Lost to JDM, lost to Chimaev. Yeah. And you can look at all these people and be like, okay, these are the best people in the world. Marias, Brady. But dude, for Gilbert Burns, it's like they're probably going to get him an easy matchup in his next fight. And if that's the case and he loses, then he's cooked. Like, he's been losing to the best people in the division. And whatever. You lose to the best people in the division. That's just how it goes sometimes. He's already like 36 years old. He's on the tail end of his career. His best days are behind him. He's never getting the belt back, right? But he can still be a ranked opponent. He can be a ranked fighter, right? But if he loses his next fight, they're probably going to put him against like D-Rod. Or they're going to put him against like... I don't even fucking know. Like, he beat Neil Magny. He beat Masvidal. He had the close fight with Chimaev. He had the... I'm trying to think of the Burns wins. Did he beat Luque? I mean, that would have been a good fight to make if Luque didn't just lose to Alvarez. But dude, if they give Gilbert Burns like Alvarez, or if they give Gilbert Burns like a Prates coming off of a loss to fucking, or like an MVP, like not like MVP's a middleweight now, but if they give him like an MVP or something, like if he loses another fight, I think Gilbert Burns is completely toast. But I think he already is toast. So yeah, someone who I think will be fine. I think he's like, don't get me wrong, I think all these people are cooked if they lose their next fight. But I think that the lower, like, Khalil Roundtree will be fine if he loses his next fight. You know why? Because Khalil Roundtree already does lose his fights, and he's fine. You can lose the Jacoby and get the split decision robbery. And then you can get the fucking title shot 2 fights later, all right? You can lose to Alex Pereira and then get another number 1 contender fight against Yuri and against Jamal Hill. You can lose these fights, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. You can lose. You can win. If you're Khalil Roundtree, he's got Dana White privilege. They just give Khalil Roundtree. They're like, okay, Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, he's in the UFC. He has entertaining fights. And fair enough, he does. He puts on a great fight for all the fans every single time. But it gets to a point where I'm just like, why are we still giving Khalil like, why is Khalil Roundtree not fighting down? Like, what has he done to deserve the Jamal Hill matchup? What did he do to deserve the title shot in the first place? What did he do to deserve the Yuri fight? I think that, and he's looked improved in these fights as well. Like, he put up a competitive fight against Yuri and he put up a competitive fight against Pereira for sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, at some point, Khalil Roundtree's got to start fighting down. But that's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's like, even if Khalil Roundtree, they do Khalil versus like Reyes or something, and Khalil loses the Reyes, or if they do Khalil versus like the loser of, like, if Olberg loses and they do Khalil Olberg, or if they give him like a Bogdan, like Azamat Mirzakhanov matchup or something like that. I think either way, Khalil's going to be fine because the UFC likes him. He's easy to work with. And yeah. All right. Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner, if he loses his next fight, I think he's kind of like in the... Like, do we really... Like, I'm putting him in C tier. Because for Jalen Turner, it's like... He seems to have lost motivation in his life. That's kind of bothering me. Hold on, let me bring that down. There we go. He seems to have like lost... Wait, now I gotta autistically fix all of these, bro. Hold up. Okay, I've autistically fixed them. No, I didn't. The Peter Yan one's still messed up. Hold up, bro. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, no, I'm fixing this one. Okay, my OCD just locked in on me. All right. What were we talking about? Oh, Jalen Turner. If Jalen Turner loses his next fight, who was he matched up against? I think he's scheduled to fight Edson Barbosa. Yeah, I think it's Barbosa. It is Barbosa. Yeah, he's completely cooked if he loses to Barbosa because it's like Jalen Turner was already undeservedly ranked at lightweight. Like, tell me who did Jalen Turner beat at lightweight to get ranked? He beat Uros Medic. He beat Jamie Malarkey. He beat Brad Riddell. And since that point, yeah, he had a close fight with Gamrot. He had a close fight with Hooker, he did knock out Bobby Green. But, like, the point I'm trying to make here is, like, he got knocked out by Moicano, kind of shelled up and quit. And he shelled up and quit against Bahamondes after Bahamondes easily took him down, right? I feel like if he loses to Barboza, he's cooked. But, like, he's not really in the position where he's not cooked if he wins. You know, like, he's not going to be getting any, like, stellar matchups if he beats Barboza. Like, they're not going to insert Jalen Turner back into the rankings off of a win over Barboza, who just lost to Jakar Close. You know, it's like, so I think Jalen Turner, even if he does lose to Barboza, it's kind of like a non-factor since he already retired and now he's back. It's like, okay, whatever. You retired and now you're returning and now you lost your return, whatever. The UFC hasn't really changed or whatever, you know? I feel like that's kind of the situation. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think I'm explaining it very well. I don't think I'm explaining my point very well about Jalen Turner. I think he's cooked if he loses, but, like, there's not really any stakes to him losing because he's already lost so many times. I think that's a better way to explain it, all right? The next person we need to talk about, Tommy Aspinall. Dude. Please just go on there normally, bro. God. I can't do it. I did it. I fixed it. And I really need to... Their hair is like poking off of the screen, bro. Whatever. If Tom Aspinall loses his next fight, he's fucking toast, bro. He needs to hang it up. He just, like, dude, the ridicule and the embarrassment. Like, he didn't even lose to Gane. He just went 2 extra minutes with Gane that Jones didn't. And he's already being ridiculed as like a quitter, as a loser, someone who was the most overrated fighter of all time. Like, can we just, like, it was a fucking round, people. It was a round which he was losing, but it was still a close fucking round. And these people are acting like Tom Aspinall is just complete shit because he was losing a round. This is the person who John Jones literally retired to avoid. And people are acting like because he lost a fucking round to Gane, that he's just like a completely overrated, overhyped. Now, imagine that, but he actually lost. Like, he didn't even lose. He was the one who got fucking fouled in the fight. He wasn't even the one that lost, and people are saying this. If he loses his next fight, the John Jones fans, they're going to come out of the closet, no pun intended, and start ridiculing Tom Aspinall from the fucking rooftops. They're going to start saying the craziest shit of all time. And honestly, if he does lose, it's deservedly because we have been glazing Tom Aspinall. And if he does lose to Cyril Gane and John Jones beats Cyril Gane, it's a terrible look. It doesn't change the fact that Jones, like, retired because he didn't want to fight Aspinall. But it does bring some validity to Jones's argument that he only wants to fight legends and he doesn't think Aspinall is a legend. But was Gane a legend? No, that was for double champ. Whatever. Gone is gone. Yeah, whatever. The point I'm trying to make here is that if Tom Aspinall loses the rematch to Cyril Gane, cooked beyond belief. There's no coming back for him whatsoever. Yeah, just hanging up the fucking gloves. Just, we don't even, like, as Tom Aspinall fans, if you lose the gun, then we're disowning you. Just kidding. We're not disowning you, but it will be very, very sad, all right? The next person, we got Big Titty Izzy. We got the Gyno Bender. Please, bro, just, you know what? I'm going to not let it bother me. I'm just going to let it, wait, hold up. I need to discover this because, oh, no. Okay, whatever. We'll keep it there. No, we gotta do this. There we go. Whatever. It didn't work, but we're gonna just keep Adesanya there for now. We got Adesanya. If Adesanya loses his next fight, he needs to retire. Because I feel like the UFC is going to get him an easy matchup in his next fight that he can win. Whether that be like a Paulo Costa rematch or maybe an MVP fight or, you know, a Robert Whittaker trilogy. Like, I feel like they're going to try to do some legendary shit with Adesanya, right? Where, okay, this is good for his legacy. They're going to try to get him an easy fight, all right? And if he loses the easy fight they try to get him, he's got to retire instantly. Just, like, completely hang up the gloves. Needs to pack it up, put the fries in the bag. All of the fucking euphemisms you can give, right? If he loses, like, he's already lost to Dricus, he lost to Strickland, he lost to Pereira, he lost to Imavov. He's on the tail end for sure. He's not prime Adesanya anymore. But at the same time, bro, it's like, if you lose to somebody like a fucking RoboCop, or you lose to maybe, who was that one guy we were just talking about, like a Ikram, like if he loses like Ikram or something, bro, like whoever they match up Adesanya against next should be a jabroni for Adesanya in terms of levels. And if he loses, then it's over for sure, bro. So for those reasons, I gotta put Adesanya in the B tier. We got the next person on the list. We got Amin Zahabi. I think Amin Zahabi is gonna be fucking fine. I think I might put him up in the C tier because he is kind of old. He's like 36 years old. This is his title run. And if he can't get it done against somebody in the top of the division, then, like, what's even the point? Because he's like 36 or whatever. He's on a 2-fight robbery streak. Yeah, I'm going to bump him up to C tier because it's like, you know, he's not gonna, like, this is the run for Zahabi. If he doesn't fulfill the Canadian prophecy in his next fight, he's never gonna sniff the belt, you know. So he's gonna get a number one contender fight in his next fight. He's on a decent win streak of his own. He's beaten Jose Aldo and he beat Cheeto, even though I think he lost to Cheeto and I think he lost to Aldo. He still had competitive fights with both of those guys, and for those reasons, guys, I think that if he loses, he's 36 years old. He's got nothing left for him in his life. He's going bald. He looks like Helwani. If he loses the next fight, then it's just completely over, you know? But yeah, I think we got to put Ariel Helwani in the C tier. I think he should be fine, but if he's not fine, then whatever, all right? In the D tier, honestly, I might put him in the F tier. Because I think even if he loses, like, I don't think there's any way he can lose his next fight. Because I think that they'll get him somebody, like, to just knock out. Because heavyweight's not a deep division. If they gave him somebody like Janata Denise, I think he'd get through him pretty easily. He's 6'8". He's a Taliesin Teixeira is his name. I didn't even say the fucking guy's name. Taliesin Teixeira, he's like 6'8". He's a fucking specimen. He's only lost to Derek Lewis. That's a tough fight to have in your fucking second UFC fight. He didn't even really get knocked out in that fight. I think he will be fine. And even if he does lose his next fight, if it's somebody, it depends on who they match him up against. Because if he loses to, like, if they give him like a Tybura coming off a loss, because for some reason he's still ranked, then whatever. You just lost to another top heavyweight, right? But if he loses to like a Mick Parkin, or if he loses to, like, I don't even know, he's cooked. So it just depends on who they match him up against. But I think either way, he's super young. He's super green, kind of the same as Ming Yang, where it's like he still has a lot left to develop in his game. So even if he does lose his next fight, I think he should be fine. All right. Next person we got to talk about is Kai Kara France. I think if Kai Kara France loses his next fight, he's kind of like in the same situation as like Khalil, where it's like, dude, this is autistically bothering me. I gotta do this. Come on. Whatever, that's as close as we'll get. I think that if Kai Kara... I'm sorry, dude. I can't... I just... Like, them not being perfectly on the line. It's just like... I'm gonna fucking destroy the whole tier list, right? But I think that Kai Kara is fine. I saw that Charles Johnson called him out. I would like to see that get booked in the Australia card. I think that could be fun. But even if he does lose, same situation where the UFC likes him. They like to put him in these tough spots. Regardless, he's an entertaining fighter. He's got a regional fan base behind him. He does all like the Kiwi bullshit, you know. I think regardless if Kai Kara France loses his next fight, there will be people saying, okay, he only beats bums. He always loses to the best people in the division. But he's going to be around for quite some time. It's kickboxing. I think even if he does lose, he should be straight, okay? And the final person in this tier list, we got Steve Erceg. I think if Steve Erceg loses his next fight, you got to cut him from the UFC. Because he debatably lost to what's the fucking guy's name? O'Day Osborne. He debatably already lost to O'Day Osborne. So if you count the loss to O'Day Osborne, I don't. I mean, you could if you wanted to. He looked pitiful in the performance. He's had 4 bad performances in a row. The O'Day fight, the Moreno fight, the Kai Kara fight, and yeah, he arguably beat Pantoja, but he didn't. I think Pantoja won the fight because Erceg made a stupid mistake, okay? And so what I'm getting at here, what is it that I'm getting at here? Like if Erceg loses his next fight, I think they'll cut him from the UFC because he'll be like 0-4 plus the 1 win to O'Day, which isn't really a win, and then yeah, they'll just cut. They should probably just cut Steve Erceg from the UFC if he loses his next fight. But yeah, I think Steve Erceg is like, he's done if he loses his next fight. Where it's like, damn, this dude went from debatably, he's like kind of like he's like on his Dominic Reyes shit, where it's like, okay, you got another W, but who is it really? Like, it's against O'Day fucking Osborne on short notice, and you got dropped against him. Like, it's not a good look, bro. It's not a good look. All right. And so, yeah, that will do it for the tier list. Let me know what you guys think I should put here. I was trying to think, like, should I just put my logo on both sides? Or, like, what? What do you guys think? I'll let you guys answer that in the comments. But that will do it for the video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, do all that YouTube shit. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at TonyHasDied. And if you want to support the page monetarily, check out my Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description. But that will do it for the video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.